Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your January reading. Now, because these are so late, I'm going to be extending the time frame of this reading for the next 4 to 5 weeks, just to kind of give you an idea of what you can expect over the next 30 to 40 days. So let's go ahead and get started with a card from my intuitive deck here. So what is it that Virgo needs to know? Sometimes really weird things come to my mind when I use this deck. And for some reason, the word sprinkle your magic came to my mind. I have no idea. It was like sprinkle your magic all around. Like there might be a lot of things going on in your life, a lot of tasks. Maybe you're in a really creative space right now, especially because we have Mars and Mercury. And later in January, we'll have Venus coming into Capricorn, which is your 5th house. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of creativity and work going on. And I feel like things have the potential to go very well for you, especially when you're in that zone, when you're in that mindset of like, I can do this. This is great. This feels good. This makes me happy. I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing. You know, you're enjoying life a little bit. I feel like there's a lot of growth potential for Virgo right now. But it is going to require your time. Of course, Capricorn, all this heavy Capricorn stuff we have going on, plus Taurus, Jupiter, plus we have Uranus stationing direct in Taurus as well. I think all that earth energy really demands taking action. It demands that you do things, and it demands that you check off those to-do list items. And it demands that you dedicate and invest time and energy and effort into things. But when you do that, I think you'll be so thrilled and so happy with the results that you get. And I don't even know that it's about the results. I think it's more about enjoying the process. It's about being in that flow and feeling connected to what you're doing, which is not always the most common thing. So let's take a look at the moon deck here. Okay, clearly that one. Work through your fears. You know, I always really like when that card comes out. It can be hard though, because it means, well, maybe your fears are going to kind of rear their ugly head a little bit and you're going to have to confront them. But I like it because when you do confront your fears and you do put yourself on that ledge and you do take those risks regardless of the fear, you do tend to realize that you weren't actually debilitated in any way, that it was just a mindset. And I think the more and more you learn that and the more and more you live through that, the less and less power fear actually has. And this may be a breakthrough moment for some Virgos, maybe not all of you, but for some Virgos, I think you may have some personal growth, self-development breakthroughs that, you know, you get over things. You don't let certain things, you don't let certain traumas and certain life experiences have power over you. And one of the things that I love, right, astrologically, January 27th, we have Pluto coming back into Aquarius for the second time. And there is a stark contrast between the Capricorn and Aquarius archetype. And I would say that Capricorn, I'm not saying this is like a fearful sign or anything, but it is certainly much more contained, and there's a lot more restriction that happens under the Capricorn banner. And when we move into Aquarius, there's a lot more breakthrough, break free qualities. And so that coinciding with working through your fears can really be a life-changing moment if you let it. Although I do think you're going to have to consciously go through that process. I think you're going to have to consciously work through the fear. But if you do, you probably won't ever have to be afraid of that again. You know? 4 of Cups. Loving the 8 of Coins. 8 of Coins has been coming out quite a bit. The reason why I love the 8 of Coins so much is because, well, first of all, it is a card associated with the first decan in Virgo. But it is perfect for Capricorn season as well. I think this is a time where real magic happens. This is where we bring things over the finish line. And there's a lot of dedication, right? I said investment, time, energy, focus, right? Maybe even some financial resources into your projects. This may be work related. It might be a creative hobby thing that you have going on. It might be something else that's important to you. But I see you getting into that flow. And I also see you being really focused and being good at saying no to distractions with that Four of Cups. I don't think you're going to be easily swayed. I don't think people are going to easily tempt you with pulling yourself away from. I think you just don't want to be pulled away from your Eight of Coins. That's all, because you like it, because you enjoy it. It's what's bringing meaning into your life right now. And you don't have to be distracted. You don't have to be pulled away. You don't have to be obligated to do things that other people want you to do. I'm seeing such a lack of interest in things that are kind of coming your way. But see, that's what makes Capricorn, the archetype, so powerful, is it's not really about new things so much as it is about finishing the things you've already started. And if you're somewhere close to the finish line, and if you ever deal with self-sabotage behavior, that could also be working through your fears there. But this card is like, nope, you gotta go all the way. You have to go all the way over that finish line, and maybe even then some. Maybe a little bit of an overachiever quality, but it's not overachievement for the sake of getting validation from others. I think it's an overachievement because it's what you want, because it's what you want your life to be. And even with the Ace of Wands here, I don't know that you're going to have this huge spark of desire toward things. It's not going to be this distraction-filled moment in time. And I've been saying this to a lot of the signs. It's just not the most sexy astrological environment. I mean, there could be unexpected things, that's for sure. Uranus stationing direct, Pluto coming into Aquarius, the Sun coming into Aquarius. And not only that, we've got a Sun-Pluto conjunction, 29 degrees of Pluto, the very last conjunction ever in your lifetime, Sun-Pluto conjunction. We'll have Mars, Mercury, and Venus also coming conjunct Pluto in Aquarius next month in February. So I'm not saying there won't be unexpected things. I'm not saying there won't be interruptions, because there certainly will be, but I just don't think those unexpected things are going to sway you from the original path, if that makes sense. I don't know that just because you feel a desire for something, you're not going to derail. This card just feels very strong to me. So let's see what else comes through for Virgo. Wheel of Fortune. Three of Coins reversed. Okay, I'll take this one and we'll keep the other one reversed, but we'll get it ready for the next row. All right. Loving the Wheel of Fortune. Obviously, we love that card. It is an indication that that wheel is turning over, and there's likely a gravity. There's a lot of gravity here with this Eight of Coins. I'm going to tell you what, because this card here, it's the epitome of what I always say, barely wanting. There's, when it comes to law of attraction and manifestation, right? We don't like to desperately want something, because when we desperately want, it creates that resistance and it creates a bigger gap and it can create more problems. When we barely want something, say, yeah, I want it, but we're not pressuring anything. Usually it's a lot easier for those things to come to fruition. When you're in this flow state and you're working towards something, it's a lot easier for new opportunities and new people and new doors to open. It's a lot easier for that stuff to come in because there's no pushback coming from that Eight of Coins at all. Because you're in your zone already. You're creating things already. I cannot overemphasize how much gravity this card has. When you are living your life and you are busy and you are enjoying things and you are creating things and you are sprinkling your magic all over, it is incredibly attractive. Okay. And I see, and maybe that's a part of the unexpected things. Maybe this is good unexpected things that come your way. Just because something is unexpected, obviously, does not mean that it's bad. So I think you're just in a really good state of being. I don't know that I have any recommendations for you in terms of how to maintain that. I think this is just kind of a snapshot or a moment in time to take advantage of. I think when we have a lot of planets in an element that is our own element, right? So you're an earth sign. We've got a lot of Capricorn and Taurus. The only thing really in Virgo right now is Black Moon, Lilith, and Juno. But I don't talk about those all that often. I usually stick to like the main planets. So it's just really heavy earth right now. And you're in your element, you're in your vibe right now. And it's a wonderful thing to capture that. Now I look at these two cards and I am struggling to see you collaborating with someone else. And that does seem to be a theme for a lot of the signs as well, that collaborating with others might be a bit of a challenge. Communicating with others might be a little bit of a challenge. And Three of Coins, there could be a professional connection there, especially as the sun comes into the sixth, well, sun and Pluto both coming into the sixth house, coming into Aquarius near the end of January. Sixth house will activate the work environment. So there could be, some weird things happening within the office or with clients or with customers, or if you work from home, even things going on in the home environment too. Not bad, but it just kind of feels like a breakdown of the collaboration. I do think Virgo is in a place right now where things probably will just go a little more smoothly if you do it on your own, if you tackle it by yourself. That's not always the case, but I am kind of stressing this point because we still have that North Node in Aries and we have Jupiter in Taurus. And these two placements specifically really lean into the self-reliance and autonomy and independence. South Node over in Libra, sometimes that South Node can bring a decreased energy. So the decrease of the partnership energy versus an increase of the independent energy over in Aries. And so this kind of makes sense that there's kind of a contrast going on. Here you are on fire by yourself, but working with other people can be a real struggle. And if you have, let's say, a normal office job, but then you have other projects you have at home that you do in your free time, it makes sense that there would be a contrast there, that one would be more enjoyable or one would be a little bit more of a positive place for you to be. Now, the King of Wands reversed, I think on one hand is an element of you. So I want to talk about this as you, and then I want to talk about it as someone else. I see this as you linked with the Ace of Wands in terms of I don't know that you're trying to be all that creative, again, in terms of initiating new things. You can be creative here with what you've already got going on, but it's not about starting and breathing life into something brand new. I think you clearly had a vision at one point, and I've been linking, so I tend, from an astrology manifestation standpoint, I tend to link Leo and Capricorn together. Because Leo is really where we start molding the clay, with everything that comes before that, with Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. Those five seasons are really about just kind of letting yourself think and feel the desire, and where's the spark, and how are we feeling, and what are we dreaming about, and what do we need to let go, and how do I get resources and all this. It's very planning oriented. But Leo is where we really, really start getting our hands dirty. And between Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn, this is when things really start to come to life. And this is a Leo card. And I feel that this is that link, things that are already in motion, things that you already envisioned for yourself. That's where the energy needs to be spent, not on new visions, not on new pathways. Okay, so now I've kind of hit that point home, maybe a little too hard. Let's talk about this as another person. while I don't see this as being a particularly negative person, I'm not getting terrible vibes from a King of Wands reversed. We'll see what the clarifiers have to say. But I do think this is someone who may be kind of half in, like they're there, but not really there. Maybe they are a partner, but they're not really pulling their weight. Maybe there is some kind of it just feels like absence to me, like mental or emotional absence. And when you're if this is like a work thing and this is someone you work with, this could definitely drive you crazy, because you're going to need your partners. You're going to need the people that you rely upon to be there and to fulfill their end of the bargain. So if you are dealing with a difficult personality, especially professionally, that may come into focus over the next several weeks. We'll see if we can get more information with the clarifiers. Okay, beautiful. Love the Fool. I love the Fool with the work through your fears card and also the sprinkling of magic here. I love it because it feels free. And I do think you find a lot of freedom in that Eight of Coins, Virgo. I think you find a lot of freedom in not letting that fear kind of hinder you. This reading does not feel serious to me. I'm not getting heavy, pay attention warnings. I think generally this is just a pretty good month ahead of you. It's a pretty good period of time. Things are going to move forward pretty well with a few surprises given the astrological transitions that are going on. Yes, there will be surprises, but they may not be surprises in your own personal life. Maybe there will be some global events, and maybe that's how it more plays out. We've already got some crazy stuff going on as it is, especially here in the US with the election year looming. So there's just all sorts of crazy stuff, but that may not personally impact you. But I love the Fool because there's so much faith, and I don't see a lot of worry. And we know that Virgo is so closely, Virgo rules like the gut and the intestines and stuff. And sometimes anxiety could be really linked to that. And I don't see that here. I don't see anxiety. I don't see stress. Even though this situation here has the potential to cause stress, I don't see you succumbing to the stress. You could, but I think this is something you choose not to do. You choose not to let that Three of Coins overpower you or seep into your personal life, because I actually like the personal life with this Three of Cups. Three of Cups is fun and being with friends and going out for drinks and having a good time and laughing and having good meals and, doing things you love with people that you love in a social way. There could be a romantic spin on this for some of you, but I'm not particularly seeing romance here. I think this is more friendship, especially with fifth house stuff. Now, fifth house is not the house of friendship, but it is opposite the 11th house, which is the house of friendship. So it would make sense that friends would come into the spotlight. So being with friends, being with people that share your interests, especially if that is connected with the Eight of Coins, this seems like there's a disconnect, where this seems like there's a strong connect. Okay? And then we have the Nine of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups has been coming out reversed quite a bit as well. And I like the reversal on it because the message that I keep hammering through is that it's a humble. This is wishes coming true, but you remain humble. Because it can be, I don't want to say tempting, but there's a stronger likelihood to get a little cocky or arrogant when things, we got a ladybug. It is ladybug season, apparently. They somehow get into my house all the time. I don't know where they are coming from. But anyway, you got a little ladybug for your reading. It just landed on me. Anyway, so there's humility there, right? Because there is, when we get things we want, when we have our wishes come true, when things go our way, sometimes we can get a little full of ourselves, or we can be like, oh, well, I'm untouchable. We can have that, but I don't see that happening here at all. What I see is Virgo being so grateful that things are working out, and grateful that you have the Eight of Coins, and grateful that you have amazing friends. And there is a lot of gratitude and appreciation and love in Virgo's heart. And I don't see you I don't see you pushing things away or pushing people away just because you're having things go well, right? I see you drawing people in, and I see you sharing your success with those you love, which is amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull out the clarifiers. So we're going to pull out a bunch of new cards, and we're going to cover these cards in the comprehensive reading, and the link for the comprehensive reading is in the description box in the comment thread down below. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. So let's take a look here, Virgo. We usually talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about these cards. So just as an FYI, Three of Wands, beautiful. Three of Swords. Oh, kind of feel like this one. High Priestess. Seven of Wands. Oh, hold on. We got a card that flipped over here. King of Wands. And I think I got another one. Okay. And the Lovers. Ace of Wands. Knight of Swords. Another Three of Coins reversed. Eight of Wands reversed. Knight of Coins reversed. That's your card. Fool reversed. And the Star. The Devil. Definitely feels heavy. Judgment. And Two of Wands. Eight of Swords. Seven of Swords. And Justice. Definitely things not balanced with that King of Wands. Page of Cups. Nine of Wands. Ten of Coins. Hierophant. Six of Swords. Knight of Wands. Five of Cups. Death. And Ten of Wands. Okay, this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive, Virgo. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. You guys know I love you. Have an amazing month, and I'll talk to you soon.